So we're going to lay the draw and go for 0-0 insurance on this match from the Turkish League with Sivasspor against Galatasaray. So let's lay the draw at 4.2, and that's in the market. So that gives us a risk of £320. So we're going to head over to the correct score market. And so around maybe £21. Okay, maybe £21.50 should then cover it pretty much. Okay, so that covers it. And that includes the commission as well. So from this point on, if the match was to just end as a 0-0, we're going to be covered. The insurance is going to kick in. Obviously, we are looking for a goal. And so what we're hoping is that after that goal is scored, the draw price is going to rise and we can lock in an amount higher than the £21.50. And if we can lock in an amount higher than that, then we will be in profit. And that's the idea behind it. So we only need a goal to be scored in this one, and then we can lock in a profit. Anyway, it's just about to kick off. Let's see what happens in play. 28 minutes on the clock, and Galatasaray have taken the lead. So the favourites taken the lead. Remember, we laid that draw 4.2. Draw price has risen as expected because the favourites taken the lead. It's gone up to 5.9. We've now locked in a profit across all the outcomes of £28 here. And if we go to the correct score market, you can see that, remember, our insurance cost us £21.50. So it would be that take away, well, the profit 28 minus the 21. And we've got a profit locked in, okay? And that's the idea behind it. That's the general idea behind lay the draw with the 0-0 insurance. As long as this match remains 0-0, we knew we couldn't lose. If Galatasaray took the lead, the draw price was going to rise so high, we knew we could lock in a profit. Bit of a problem can always develop if the underdog takes the lead. But anyway, in this video today, we are going to investigate this strategy in a lot more depth and a lot more detail. So go grab a nice cold beer and let's get into it. So the lay the draw with 0-0 insurance strategy is a bit of an old chestnut, and it's something we've explored on this channel before, but we're going to go for it again. And the strategy itself is along the lines of, as you guessed, you're going to lay the draw, you're going to back 0-0 to cover the draw liability. So if you're risking £300, £400, you're going to back the 0-0 to cover that amount. And if or when the first goal is scored, the draw price is going to lengthen, and then you would cash out for a profit. Ideally, that profit is going to cover your insurance as well, so you're going to have a profit on top of that. And obviously, if it's 0-0, you're going to get your money back, and that is why a lot of people like the strategy, because when they lay the draw, they're always nervous about that 0-0, right? So looking at that on paper, it sounds really, really good, doesn't it? Almost as if you can't lose at all. However, like with most good strategies, or most strategies, there are pitfalls. And one of the main pitfalls is that if the goal goes in, what if the match odds profit does not exceed the insurance cost? Because we're looking for that draw price to rise, but there might be instances where it doesn't rise enough for us to lock in a big enough profit to cover our insurance. And then we're suddenly looking at actually taking a loss despite the trade being successful to the naked eye. Also, you need to look at the underdog scoring. Big problem when you lay the draw normally. Even bigger problem when you lay the draw with 0-0 insurance, because it could cause the draw price to shorten. You'll have to take a loss on the match odds market, and also you're going to take a loss with the insurance. So it's a bit of a double whammy situation, isn't it? Also, there is that possibility that 2 quick goals could be scored. So a goal goes in, another goal goes in, it goes to 1-1 right away. And then you've lost your 0-0 insurance and the match is back at a draw, and you're in again a double whammy situation, albeit that is a bit more of a rare situation. But again, we're just putting all the possibilities on the screen for you right there. And so, as I said, this is a strategy we've covered before and I don't use myself, but I can easily tell you the best direction to go in when using this strategy is that you want to look for a strong odds on favorite, because you want that draw price to definitely rise if that favorite takes the lead and rise enough to cover your insurance. At the same time, you want a high 0-0 price because you want to try and pay as little insurance as possible. But the question is, which draw price do we go for? Which Nil-nil prices should we really be looking at. And that is why we're going to conduct a mini test right now in this video. And we're going to do this mini test using our football trading simulator tools. And this will allow us to quickly simulate a bunch of matches to test this strategy on, so we can start to find answers to the previous questions in as little as 10 minutes, as opposed to waiting maybe days or even weeks to test your strategy over and over on the real life markets. We can test it right now and get answers within around 10 minutes. And if you are interested in the football trading simulator, I'm going to give you a bit more information on it later on in the video, but there is a long waiting list for this. We're going to open it up again very soon. Click the link in the description of this video to get on the waiting list and to get further information about this. It is an amazing bit of kit. Like I said, we're going to test the strategy right now and get answers within 10 minutes, whereas normally you'd have to wait days or weeks, because you need to wait for the qualifiers, you need to be around to do the trades, and you need to obviously keep track of it, and that can sometimes take days or weeks depending on the type of criteria you're looking for. Anyway, if you like the look of the simulator, you want to learn more, join the waiting list by clicking the link below. But anyway, I think it's time to get into, well, it says real life demonstrations, but it's not really real life. It's actually a simulation of the markets, but it's time to get into that. But before we do, I would really love it if you could click the like button to support the channel. We do all these videos for free for your educational and entertainment purposes. And all we ask for in return is for you to click the like button to support the channel. Also hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell while you're there as well. Okay, it's time to get into a mini test of the later draw plus nil-nil insurance strategy. Let's see what happens next. So we can set these up inside the simulator, and we can just go for a later draw straight away. In this match, mine's against Leverkusen. Later draw there at 4.8, and we can see what the risk is going to be, which is going to be 380. So what we can do, and a lot of people have seen this inside the simulator, go to payout, and we want to back the under 0.5 goals, which is basically backing the nil-nil, and we want to pay out of 380. So that will do the calculations for us. So we're backing the nil-nil, or backing under 0.5 goals rather, at odds of 28, and that should give us the payout of 380. And so our risk is £14.07. So basically from here we're going to move the clock forward in this match, and we're looking for a goal. And well, that's interesting. 2 goals in like the first 10 minutes. Okay, so let's bring the clock back. Anyway, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that first goal to go in. Once that goal goes in, we're looking for a cash out which is going to be higher than the £14. And in this case we've got it. The cash out is £44. So let's just click on that. And then obviously we are going to lose that money immediately on the 0.5 goals market, which will give us this overall trades position of the £30. And now we can just click on end game, because our work is done after 5 minutes. That is the end of that. Leverkusen won it 5-1. And then we're going to add that to our strategy center, which you can just see down here, which is the later draw plus nil insurance. We just want to get that saved in. And that will be now saved in. And so that's one trade down on the tracker. And just try and go over to the tracker just to take a quick look at it. And so you can see it here. And we got one trade, one win. And in this case, the later draw plus nil insurance works very well, because we got the goal and the profit was higher than the insurance we paid on the nil-nil. So that's the idea. But anyway, let's do a little batch of matches and see how this plays out. So we found another match, and this one is set up. It's Newcastle against Liverpool. You can see we laid the draw there at 5, and we've backed the nil-nil. So we're looking for a profit higher than £25 after that first goal. So this button will move the clock forward 10 minutes at a time, and we're just looking for that goal to be scored. And obviously we can kind of see the overall trades position as well, which is interesting. 30 minutes in, you could take a £10 profit if you wanted. 40 minutes in, a £20 profit. Anyway, we're looking for that goal. We're going to stick to the rules of it. £26 profit there at 50 minutes, which is interesting. And yeah, we're looking for a goal. 60 minutes in, Newcastle 0, Liverpool 0. And there is a goal to the underdog. So that is not what we're looking for. And so obviously we exit after the first goal with this one. And then that's looking like that's going to be a loss in total of the £76.52. So that's the floor with the later draw with the 0-0 insurance. We're now lost our 0-0 insurance, but we're also going to lose on the match odds market as well. Okay, so let's click on end game and let's see how this one ended. This would have been a 2-0 win to Newcastle, so that's interesting. So anyway, we'll get that locked in to our tally, and we're going to get another match set up, and then we will go again. So we found another match that fits. This is Newcastle against Burton. This was in the English Championship, so this must be a really old match. But anyway, we're all set up. Let's see if Newcastle can just take the lead for us and keep this a simple one so we can lock in the profit. We've backed that 0-0 with £35. So we're looking for a profit after the goal of more than £35. So again, kind of tight margins with this. So here we are, 50 minutes, it's still 0-0. 60 minutes, 0-0. Are we going to get a goal, or is the insurance gonna kick in? Okay, so we've got a goal on this one, and now this is interesting because Newcastle have taken the lead. The cash out is only £34, so we're actually looking at taking a loss on this one. So that's interesting again, and that's just something you would note down, because obviously this sort of match not going to be ideal for what we're looking for. Do we look for a higher 0-0, a stronger favourite? Who knows? This is why we run these experiments, okay? But anyway, 0-0 insurance. Newcastle took the lead, and we couldn't even lock in a profit on that one. So that actually puts us a little bit further into the red, despite the trade going to plan. So these are all learning experiences here. Anyway, let's get another one set up and let's go again. So here's a match from the Dutch League. You can see we're all set up. 400 liability on later draw, £20 insurance. So we're looking for more than £20 after that first goal to lock in. So Sparta Rotterdam against Den Haag. So let's move this clock forward, and it's going to keep it moving forward every 10 minutes until we can stumble upon a goal in this one. So 50 minutes, and we've got the goal, and well, we've managed to lock in a profit on this one, albeit not a very big one. Okay, the cash out was only £24.24 available to us after the goal, so minus our £20 insurance, and that's pretty much a £4 profit. So let's go to end game, and wow, I mean, that finished in a 6-0 win to Sparta Rotterdam. So anyway, let's lock that in. So that claws back a little bit of our loss, and let's see if we can get into the green with this one. So either way, we've seen some interesting trades so far. Let's get another one loaded up and let's go again. All set up again. Cagliari against Inter Milan, and you can see we've got £390 liability and £26.90 was the cost of the insurance on the 0-0 on this one. So we're looking for more than that to lock in. And again, look, we've got the favourite take the lead. It's not really done much for us because, look, we can cash out for £23.44, but it's not going to cover our insurance. So this fits in with what I did mention at the earlier part of the video. You need a really strong favourite for this one because you need that draw price to really jump up high so we can lock in something worthwhile. So again, it's been a successful trade, but we couldn't lock in a profit. So again, it keeps us in the red. Okay, it keeps us in the red. And anyway, we're gonna get that locked in, minus £49 at the moment. So we're gonna simulate random match, and we're gonna try and cycle through to try and find a really strong favorite to try this on again on the next one. And once that's loaded up, we will go again. And so here's a match of a strong favourite. This is Bayern Munich, well, Dusseldorf against Bayern Munich, and the later draw is there at odds of 11, right? So you might think, well, really, really high liability, but remember, we've got the insurance, isn't it? So let's give it a test, and this is exactly why you would test it on something like the simulator rather than flying into the market with an £1,000 liability. So anyway, we laid a draw there at 11, and our insurance is going to cost us £17. So let's see how this one plays out. let's move the clock forward to the first goal. You would surely expect Bayern Munich are going to take the lead in this one at such a short price. And there they have. Okay, and the cash out was £60 minus our insurance. And we're going to end up with around £43. Okay, so yep, that's not bad. And again, this is all food for thought. This is why you test your systems and your strategies. It is a high draw price, but we're taking insurance, so should we be worried about that draw price being high? Again, that's why we got the simulator. It keeps it safe. You're not risking any of your own money. And anyway, let's add that to our tally, and that will get us close to being back onto the green side of things. And we're going to get another one loaded up, and we will go again. So we're going to go back and complete our mini test in just a moment. Just want to remind you that the football trading simulator is going to be available again very, very soon. And remember, the main idea behind the software that you're seeing is that it will allow you to create and test your own strategies. If you have any strategy idea at all, well, you can just test it till the cows come home. And you can simulate it over thousands of real markets. I think we've got close to 10,000 matches in the database now. So there is just so many different things that you can test. And of course, you can test over and under goal markets. You can test the correct score and the first half markets as well. So any strategy idea that you have in your mind, you don't have to wait around until the matches are in play or specific matches are in play. And then obviously you've got to wait pretty much 90 minutes for that match to be complete and to get the answers. You can test it all within a couple of minutes, and you can see how viable your strategy is. You can get the answers right away. You could then tweak it and optimize it, run the test again, and just do it over and over again till you've got a really, really good strategy that is all yours and nobody else's, that you can use on the markets itself, the real life markets. So the great thing about the football trading simulator, as said, it's going to save you time. In this video today, we're taking around 10-15 minutes to run a mini test of 10 trades. In real life, that would be 10 matches, 10 times 90 minutes already. At the same time, you can save money because you're not going to risk any of your real money. So we've all been there where we think that, yeah, this strategy sounds good. Let me dive in with some real money. Then very quickly, you realize the flaw and your money is gone and the strategy didn't work at all. Well, just run it through the simulator and you're probably going to save a lot of money just doing that. And most importantly, you're going to save your sanity, because again, if you've been in the football trading world for any length of time, you will know that very often you do get strategy ideas. You want to test them. Those ideas jump around in your head all day, sometimes even keep you up at night. And you're just very eager to go and test them. Well, if you have the football trading simulator, you just pull it out and test it right away. So anyway, as said, the link to get on the waiting list for this is in the description. We have not released this in a very, very long time. We do release it very, very rarely. So if you are interested in even the slightest, then click the link in the description and get on the waiting list with your very best email address. Okay, let's dive back in to the mini test and let's see what happens next. So another match lined up here. This is from the Bundesliga. We laid the draw 5.8. Our insurance cost us £19.20. So we're looking for the goal to the favourite and then locking in more than £20 for this to be successful. And we've got it. Okay, Leipzig take the lead there on the 30th minute, or around the 30th minute anyway. Draw price goes up to 10.5. We lock in £44 on the match odds market, but we lose £19.20 on the goal market. So that's going to be a £25 profit altogether. Let's go to end the game and see how this one turned out. 2-0 win to Leipzig, and let's just get that locked in. So that's going to put this little test into the green side of things finally, and let's get another one loaded up and let's go again. So another one lined up here. This one's from the Belgium League. Standard are 1.51 favourites on this one. So the insurance cost us £25.63. So we're just looking to beat that after the first goal. And okay, yep, we got the goal there. 30 minutes and match odds. We can cash out £39.29. Obviously, then we have to minus the insurance, and it's going to end up with around a £13 profit. So let's get that locked in, and we will go to the end game. So at least we've managed to get that little arbitrage, and we will get that locked in, and we will just add that to the tally. And I think we've got, what, 1 or 2 more, and then that will complete the mini test. Okay, let's get another one lined up. Let's see what happens. So we've got another one set up here. This is Middlesbrough against Millwall, and you can see we've laid the draw. The insurance on this one's pretty expensive. Okay, £37 we've got to try and beat after that. We've got to try and lock in more than £37 after that first goal. So this is obviously something to keep in mind, the price you're paying for the insurance, and as we refine the strategy, we're going to try and find an optimal amount. Okay, look, we've hit 30 minutes on the clock, but that's 2-0. So that's not what we're looking for, because we would be exiting after that first goal. So it must have been 2 quick goals for Millwall. But anyway, so we would exit after this first goal to Millwall on 26 minutes, and we would hit a cash out of £39. But as mentioned, our insurance is £37. So yeah, nothing really much gained there. £2 of profit. So anyway, let's move on and let's just get that locked in. But of course, this is all a learning experience. This match finished 3-0 to Middlesbrough. So this is all a learning experience. We're trying to get an idea of what sort of price we should pay for the insurance, and I think already just by doing this mini batch, if we can get that insurance cost lower than £20, then maybe that's the best time to do it, and this is why we run all these simulations. So let's have a look at the tracker. We've done 9 trades. Let's do one more, and then that will complete our little mini test. Okay, so we cycled through and we found this match with Atletico Madrid against Celta. So Madrid there at 1.35, and as mentioned, the insurance, we're only paying £18 or pretty much £19 on this one. So from what we've learned today with the mini test, this is probably the most optimal match to go for. Okay, so let's just cycle through and let's see what we can pull off in this one. So 20 minutes in, 0-0, 30 minutes in, still 0-0, and this button, as you know, we'll keep moving it forward every 10 minutes until we see a goal scored in this one. So this will be interesting. Maybe this is the first match where we actually going to use that 0-0 insurance to cover us. And so here we are, 17 minutes. I mean, interestingly, we're in profit because the 0-0 price has kind of overlapped the match odds negative. But anyway, not a big deal. Let's see if we can get a goal. Okay, 80 minutes on the clock. We got the goal to Atletico Madrid. That gives us a £41 cash out, and of course our insurance was there around £18. So we're going to lock in around £22 on this one. So again, that definitely fits with what we've learned by doing this mini test, is that we want to try and keep that insurance cost as low as possible and keep it down to probably below £20. And then if we can do that, we've probably got a qualifier. And so anyway, we'll add that to our little tally, and obviously we got off to a bad start with it, but then we turned it around. We've got it just into profit. We haven't really fully optimized this just yet, but looking at this, it's kind of interesting. I mean, we did 10, we won 7, lost 3, but of course 2 of those losses weren't really losses. They were actually successful trades and probably matches which wouldn't qualify for what we're looking for. Now, what the simulator can also show you is it can show us what our average win was £19 on this one, and our highest drawdown £78. So our big loss was that £78. Okay, so lots of information to gather from that. That's why you do the mini test. And then of course, from what we've learned with this mini test, if we can then do another 10 trades where we would look at keeping that insurance cost below £20 on every trade, and then do another 10 trades and see how that turns out, and then you would optimize and refine the strategy as you move forward. But anyway, just completed that little mini test. We've ended up on the green side in the end, but we've definitely learned a few things about using the later draw plus 0-0 insurance. And so I hope you found that interesting, and when you are testing any of your strategy ideas, always start with a mini test to guide you in the right direction. Don't go for the large test just yet. You want to start with a little mini test of around 10 trades. Obviously, from that batch of trades, you're going to answer some of the questions as you've just seen, And then once you've done that, you're going to conduct another mini test with your optimizations, and then do it again and again until you feel you do have something that you want to test over a larger data sample, so you can really test the profitability. So you've seen how this has started out. We've done the first 10 trades. We're not ready for the big test just yet because there's still some stuff that we would want to optimize. And I think that these are some of the notes that I would add. I would say we still need to find that optimal minimum draw price, because just looking at that little sample there, when the draw price was around odds of 4, from 4.1 to 4.9, it didn't look like the biggest jump. Maybe we've got to go for when that draw price is 5 plus, maybe even 6 plus. We also then need to find the optimal maximum draw price as well, because then how high does the draw price go? Are we laying the draw at 10s or 11s when that comes up? These are questions which need to be answered also. But probably most importantly is we need to find that optimal nil-nil price, because we did quickly learn that keeping the insurance cost below £20 was key. But could it work with £21, £22? And obviously then what nil-nil price are we looking for in combination with the draw price to really find the most optimal qualifiers for our strategy? So that would be the next step, to run in another mini test. And of course, once you get the football trading simulator for yourself, if you've liked the look of the later draw and nil-nil, you could play around with this. We've done the first little mini test. You could try a different draw price and different nil-nil prices and make your own decision and test all of this at your own leisure. And of course, any other ideas you have, you can test them also. And probably a big question to ask, and we're only going to get this answer maybe when we do the large test: do we need nil-nil insurance at all? We did 10 trades just then. Nil-nil didn't come up in any of those. So is it that common that we actually need to take the nil-nil insurance? If you run a much larger test and a much larger data sample, you might look over the trades and realize, well, to be honest, we didn't need to even take the nil-nil insurance. We've actually maybe just found a regular good later draw strategy without needing a nil-nil. But anyway, you can only find out these questions via the testing. So as said, we haven't released this in a long time. We're looking to get this out there once again very soon. The football trading simulator. Click the link in the description so you can get on the waiting list for this. Remember, you can create and test your own football trading strategies over a database of close to 10,000 matches now. You're going to save time, you're going to save money, and save your sanity in the process. This is a much better way to test your strategies rather than going in the markets, waiting around for days, hours, days, weeks to find the ideal matches to test your strategy on, only to find it doesn't even work. Whereas when you use the simulator, you can find that out very quickly and then move on to another idea straight away, build up your own portfolio. And remember, it's a portfolio that only you will have. Once you've built your own strategy, no one else is going to be able to copy it, so it won't get saturated in the markets also. Anyway, click the link in the description. You're going to definitely need this. If you've got any sort of interest in football trading, this is an absolute must-have. Get on the waiting list for it. More details will be available very soon, and all the details currently should be below this video. Anyway, if you've enjoyed watching this video and you want to see more videos, well, there should be a really good one appearing on the screen right now. So best thing to do is to click on that video, and I will see you in the next video.